I want to welcome everybody today, and we are going to be talking today about Facebook Messenger. You can come in, there's seats back a little bit. We're going to be talking today about Facebook Messenger. How many of you use Facebook already? Use Facebook already? I use Facebook all the time. Now, here's the thing. I actually am going to tell you what's very strange is over the next couple minutes, I'm going to give you all my information. You can find me on Facebook Messenger. I'll show you. I had lunch today. It's actually pretty funny. I had lunch today, and someone had a question for me from last cruise, and they actually called me on Facebook Messenger. I took a screenshot of it. They called me on Facebook Messenger as I'm walking around the ship. But the thing is, when we talk with people, when you talk with someone, you deal with email. Am I correct? When you want to send someone something digitally, a lot of us will deal with email, or we'll deal with a text message, right? You'll deal with a text message or anything like that. I want you to understand what I'm about to show you is a way to communicate with people. It is not designed to communicate with businesses. It's designed to communicate with people. So if I want to talk with you, I use Facebook Messenger. If you want to talk with me, you use Facebook Messenger. Yeah?
Can you set it up as a group?
You can set it up as a group, and I'm going to show you how that works in just a few seconds, but I want to get the baseline. Now, do we all have iPhones, iPads, or do we have Android phones? What do we have? You have an Android phone? Or you have, okay, cool. But if you're looking at your phone, you likely have the phone application, you have the texting application, the messages application, you have the FaceTime or the Skype application, you've got all of these applications, you have the email application, you've got all of these applications together. Come on, have a seat, you can come in. So we've got all of these applications that are separate. What Facebook Messenger does is it takes all of the applications and puts them together inside of one location. So we'll talk about groups, we'll talk about all those different things like that. But what you'll notice is Facebook Messenger is actually on my main bar. So you know how you have your messages or your phone or anything like that? If you look at my screen, you know what you don't see anywhere on my screen? Do any of you see the phone application? I never use the phone on my phone. How I communicate with people almost 100% of the time is in Facebook Messenger. The only time my phone is used is when someone comes to me and says I need to make a phone call. And then I let them make a phone call. But this is Facebook Messenger. I'm going to open it up. And I have to be careful because this is my actual Facebook Messenger right here. And when I want to chat on Facebook Messenger, what I do is I type in someone's name. So are you on Facebook Messenger? Anybody on Facebook? Okay. So what's your name?
Linda.
Linda?
Collins.
Collins. There's not enough of those. Oh, L-L-I-N-S? Let's see if we can find it. Linda Collins, self-employed. What location? Where are you located?
Canada.
A little more specific?
Bridge Island.
Bridge Island?
R-E-G-I-N-A.
Bridge?
R-E-G-I-N-A.
E-G-I-N-A. R-E-G-I-N-A. Linda Collins. Might be a little difficult to do that. I'm looking for you. I have a very unique name. Linda Collins, manager at Canada Culvert, self-employed. No? Well, R-E-G-I-N-A? R-E-G-I. Shouldn't do someone dead simple like this, dead empty, but I can go with, there we go. Linda Collins worked at CGI. So I type in her name. If I know her name, if she has a unique name, I don't need a location. But if she doesn't have a unique name, then I need a location. And if I click in right here, I can go ahead and I can send her a message. So if I have some idea. So what you can do is you can also look at people by position. So what happened was someone found me by just typing in iLounge Manager into Facebook Messenger, and they found me just by typing that in. So I can put in, and what I could do is if I wanted to, there's Linda Collins right there. I can say, hey, Linda. No, not hey, let's. Hey. Hey, Linda. And we go ahead and we say, hey, Linda. Now, if she were on her phone right now, she would get that. Here's the thing. Did I need to know her phone number?
No.
Did I know her email address? All I needed to know was her name and about where she lived, to give you an idea, and I found her right there. My name is a very unique name. There's like 3 of us in the world, but I'm the only one that uses Facebook. So I'm the only one that has my name that uses Facebook. But I can go ahead and have a conversation just like that. So I have a conversation. I'll show you one that I was doing before I came up here. This is a conversation with another manager in the fleet. And I can go ahead and I can type a message. So this kind of replaces text messaging, if that makes sense. If it replaces text messaging, I can go in. But before I go into this, I forgot to mention one thing that's very important. How many of you don't have Facebook yet because you're afraid of Facebook? You'd be afraid of Facebook. Facebook Messenger and Facebook are 2 separate things. Okay, I want to make that very clear. They are 2 completely separate things. What you'll notice is I have Facebook down here, and I have Facebook Messenger. 2 independent apps. You do not need to use Facebook to use Facebook Messenger. Does that make sense? that's there. So when you go into Messenger, there's two ways to make an account. I got a little short-sighted on this, and I'm going to show you. There's two ways to make an account. You can either make an account with Facebook, meaning that it'll work across your iPhone and your iPad and your Windows computer and your Mac computer and everything, or you can make an account just with your phone number. If you make an account just with your phone number, it will only work on this one device. So if you lose the phone, there's your Facebook account. So I recommend you make an account with your email address, which should be a Gmail address, but that's a story for another time. You make an account with your email address once you go in. So this is a friend of mine she actually works on another ship, and if I wanted to, I could say, hey, Facebook class. And what I'll see is when I send a message, you see that it has that little check mark next to it there? That means it's been delivered. It doesn't mean it's been read. It means it's been delivered. So you see that says it's been delivered, so I can say test. And watch what happens when I send it. See it goes down there? And you see that she's actually read it. So when she's opened it, now she's going to give me a thumbs up, and she's going to say, hey. But I can go in and I can send her a message. Now here's the thing. Unlike email, Facebook Messenger is instant. So I can see when she reads it, say, hello. I can see exactly when she reads it. So you see it's going down like that. We're going to get to groups in a minute. I'll show you groups in a couple seconds, but I want to show you very simple. She can say hello, and it goes in like that. Now, not only can I send text, I can also send pictures. Now, have any of you ever tried to attach, I say tried to attach a picture to an email before? And how long does it take to send that email a lot of the time? I'm not going to attach one picture. I'm going to attach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pictures. Now, if you were to send that in a traditional email, you know what the traditional email would say? Well, it wouldn't even say that. Exceeded 10 megabytes, exceeded 10 gigabytes. You'll see what that's going to do is it's going to take about 10 seconds, and I'm not going to send one picture, I'm going to send 9 pictures instantly. So it's going to take a couple seconds, and then she's going to get all the pictures. So I can send a picture from my photo library. So here's text. I can send a message via text. I can send a picture from my library, meaning anywhere that I've gone ahead and I've sent before, or I can take a new picture. Where's a new picture? Not a nude picture, a new picture. I can take a new picture there, and I can actually send those pictures, and she'll respond back when she sees it. So it's very cool. I can go in, and I can actually put things in their different respective places there, and I can put it in. I can even go ahead and send her little smileys. If I say ha-ha, or different things like that. And you'll see she's read it. It's actually sent the first set of pictures. It's sending the second set of pictures right now. But you'll see she's read it. The cool thing is I can even leave her voicemail. So if she's not there, I can go in. You'll see I've got voicemail right here. And I can say, hello, I'm just testing to see if voicemail works. Testing 1, 2, 3. And it sent her that voicemail. But here's where it gets cool. We've all sent text messages. We've all sent emails before. But imagine if I told you in the same app, you could make a phone call or a video call. This is something that got added to Facebook Messenger about a year ago. You've used it for more than a year or so, right? Have you used it for a while? What they added about a year ago is what killed Skype. I don't know if you know, a lot of people don't really use Skype as much anymore because what Facebook has done is they've built in audio and video calling directly into Facebook Messenger. There's a cat on the keyboard. So they built audio and video calling directly into Facebook Messenger. So I can actually make an audio call or a video call right from there. Now remember, if you're going to call someone on Facebook, this is proper etiquette. Always do an audio call first. Don't do a video call. Do you know why? It's because you want to make sure the person's wearing pants. I say that based on experience. You want to make sure they're wearing pants because whenever someone video calls me, guess what I'm not wearing? Generally, I'm not wearing pants. Don't know why, but I can go in, and if I wanted to contact Elsa, I can dial her, and it should ring right there. Let's give him a second. I don't know if she's going to pick up. I was chatting with her. Here we go. So it's going to connect. Hey, Elsa. Hello. Do you have pants on? Can I video chat? You have to properly ask that question. Yes, I guess that means I have pants. She always has pants on. Okay. That's unlike when she calls me during her Facebook Messenger class. But I've got Elsa. She's walking around. I guess she's on the Equinox now. So she's walking around on the Equinox. She's on deck 6, so she's on the mirror of another ship in the fleet. The cool thing is, I didn't have to wait for FaceTime to connect. I didn't have to do anything like that. And I actually have, now I'm doing this over a screen, so it's a little bit weird, but you can actually do this with up to 10 people at once. So you can go and you can make the conversation with multiple people at once. And remember, when you take a picture of yourself, you can hold it up and down like this, if you got yourself in the image. So you see I've got it like this, and she's got it like that. But remember, and Elza will tell you this too, when you take a picture of something else, sideways, camera at the top. She knows that. She's just walking around the Equinox. There she goes. She's turned it sideways. There we go. You see how much more information we get when she turns it sideways there? Now we're doing a lot of crazy tech right here, but I can go in and I can have a video conference. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. And I'm going to up. It's almost like she's on another ship. Okay. Elza, I'm going to let you go. Bye. Bye. Oh, she's in a duplicate copy of this room. Okay. But I can go in and I can actually have a video chat. I can have an audio chat with her. I can choose however I want to go ahead and make that chat.
Quick question.
Yes.
This is all premised on the fact that she had a
Facebook Messenger account.
account.
Now, interesting. Let's say you type in someone's name or their email address and they don't have a Facebook Messenger account. It will automatically invite them to Facebook Messenger and let them sign up just with their phone number, just so they don't have to do the whole complex thing. If they're somewhere they have Wi-Fi, they can just download Facebook Messenger and they're good to go. So what it is I can send text messages, meaning not text messages, but messages with text, pictures that I take fresh, old pictures that I have, and the other cool thing I can do is, let's say that I wanted to send her some money. I can hit payments and I can send $1 if I wanted to, and I can hit pay. If you need to pay someone back for something, you can actually do that through Facebook Messenger. Yeah, she isn't available to receive money. Aww. But if you go in, the thing is, you do both need to be using the same currency. So she uses South African money because she's from South Africa. She's got a South African credit card in there, and I have an American one. So you both have to be in the same currency as of right now. The other cool thing I can do is if I wanted to send an Uber ride, I can send an Uber ride. I can send attachments from Dropbox. I can send all kinds of different things within Facebook Messenger. But you asked an interesting question. You said, oh, she sent an event reminder. You and Elza will be reminded in 30 minutes before then. Okay. But what's cool is I can go in, and this is I'm going to see what's here. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to type. Let me click all this. I don't need anybody seeing anything super secret. But we have a group, so I'm going to show you how to make a group. When you add somebody, we have a group that has a whole bunch of different members inside of it. So these are all of the iLounge managers across the fleet, and we have all of them in a single Facebook group. And this is how we do a lot of different things. Now, when you go into any message, if you click into it, you can add another person. So you see I have a single conversation with Elza Visser right here. If I wanted to add someone to that conversation, I click on that conversation and I say create group, and then I can add someone else as well. So I can add someone else to there, and you see I already have a group with the two of them in there, but I have a group right there, so you can add a group. And what's cool is when you have a group, don't know what that said, but when you add a group, it will actually show you when everybody in the group has read the message. So you'll notice here that Elza's read the message, and you'll see other people pop down there in a second. So I have about 15 to 20 people in this group, and as each of them read the message, it will pop down to there. You can also do group video and group video and group voice chats inside of Facebook Messenger. So it's all inside of this app, and all you need to know, generally all you need to know is a person's name. If they have a unique enough name, if there's too many of them, you have a location. But one of the things I urge you to do when you set up Facebook Messenger, make sure you put a picture on your Facebook Messenger so people know who you are. Because if you don't put a picture there, guess what? How many Linda Collins are there? There's a lot of Linda Collins. So it will go in, and you want to put a picture there so you know exactly who you are. And you'll see that Elza has gone ahead and actually read that comment right there. So that's pretty cool. So you can go in, again, Facebook Messenger. Now I want to take, because I know there's a lot of questions about this, let's be completely honest. But I can go in, and I can do anything I want to do in here. I can send text. I can send a picture. This other. I can send pictures I've already taken. And I can send all kinds of different things right in there, and those all send instantly compared to email. And here's the best thing about Facebook Messenger, you don't get spam. There's no spam in Facebook Messenger. So I'll give you an example. I sent her a Facebook Messenger request. Now she Do you actively use Facebook? Just wondering. Yeah, you do. Even if you don't actively use Facebook, what's going to happen is it's going to pop up and it's going to say in the top of her screen, you have a new request. I'll see if I don't have any requests sitting there right now. It'll say you have a new request of someone who wants to talk with you. Do you want to allow them? And you'll say yes, and then it's automatically there. If you don't allow, it's just not even going to show up. So what's amusing is sometimes I just dismiss that. Sometimes I'll go back, and there was a girl that I met like 3 years ago who sent me a Facebook message, and I figured out that she sent me a message back, and I never checked it. So you don't get any spam or anything like that. Yeah?
Email and Facebook Messenger are both Wi-Fi.
Correct.
Why is one faster than the other?
Very, very good question. And that's a very nerdy question that I'm going to get to talk about very nerdy for a minute. You're using the same protocol when you use Facebook. So no matter how you access it, if you access it via a computer, if you access it via an iPad, an iPhone, it's all Facebook. When you use your, let's say you have Gmail, your wife, we're talking theory, you have Gmail, your wife has AOL, and you're both using the little blue mail app on the iPhone or the iPad. It has to translate 5 or 6 times between different services. It's got to transfer through Apple's mail app and all those other. If you were to go, in a perfect world, on 2 identical computers, from a Gmail account to a Gmail account, it would be just as fast as Facebook for sending text. The problem is you have to route, and you have to route between all of these providers. Now, the other thing that Facebook does that I think is really cool is it compresses the pictures. When you send a picture in Facebook, no one's going to want to print that picture, so it only sends it so it looks good enough on the device that's receiving it. So it's not sending, you know how when you send a picture it says do you want to send it small, medium, or large, or anything like that? Facebook is compressing those pictures and sending them in the way that you think. It is not going through all kinds of mail servers and all that. Plus, it is instantaneous because Facebook has full control of the platform. Does that make sense there? So Facebook owns the entire experience. Yeah?
So you're saying once you get past the servers of the provider that you're sending it from,
Right.
like on the ship, it's the satellite system.
No, the satellite's an irrelevant factor in there. What I'm
How
saying...
do you get out to the Facebook servers?
The Facebook
From
servers
the
hit
ship?
anywhere you have internet. So yes, you need
So for the
satellite to
internet,
do that.
you gotta go to the
yes,
satellite.
but the
Once
satellites...
it's there, it goes from Facebook to Facebook server
Correct.
to the other end.
So give you an example. I'll give you a trace route.
You
so you
still
can
need
understand.
that in
You
this
still need an internet signal.
Right.
So it can be either Wi-Fi or cellular.
And if
but
that server is slow or crowded, you're gonna get a slow response.
no, not
before
true.
you get to Facebook.
That's not true. Because Facebook is a tier 1 internet provider. So Facebook and Gmail and all of those big ones are tier 1. Internet doesn't work the way you think it works anymore. If you have slow internet, let's say, slow internet, things that are more worldwide are still going to work faster than something that's regional, to give you an idea. So in the spectrum of things, believe it or not, even if you have slow internet, you'll be able to send a Facebook message a lot more reliably than even a Gmail message. Because it's done end to end. So you have, who's your email provider?
Comcast.
Comcast. So if I needed to send him an email from my Gmail, I'd have no problem going out and routing to Gmail. The problem is then Gmail needs to find its way to Comcast, and then Comcast needs to find its way back to you. When you open Facebook Messenger, you're dealing with one company. Now, Facebook Messenger is very similar to WhatsApp. I'm sure some of you have probably heard of WhatsApp. WhatsApp was a competitor to Facebook Messenger, and Facebook did something very smart. You know what they did?
They bought it.
They bought it. So if everybody says, well, what's the difference between Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp? Here's the answer. This is interesting. WhatsApp is just like Facebook Messenger, but it's designed to work in third world countries with worse internet connections, if that makes sense. So sometimes if you're somewhere that Facebook won't go through, I have WhatsApp on my phone as well. It's designed to work in Africa and different places like that. Facebook is kind of for the industrialized world, and WhatsApp will go to other countries. It's started to spill over into the industrialized world, but you will still see a majority of more people in the US use Facebook. A lot of people in South America, where the cell phone networks are not as strong and the Wi-Fi is not as strong, use WhatsApp, to give you a little idea. So it's actually really, really cool, and it comes down to when you're talking about sending messages and doing all that, Google Photos, which we're going to talk about a bit later in the cruise, they just added a new feature where it uploads a small version of your photo, just so you have an extra backup, and then when you connect to stronger internet, it uploads a bigger version of your photo, which is really quite cool. It goes through, and they just issued that update last night. So it's very, very cool, Facebook Messenger. And understand this, I'll get to your question in 2 seconds, let me finish my thought. This essentially replaces how you chat with people, because you get a lot of noise when you send an email nowadays. And I give, in my last class that I'm going to do, I give out my email address. I give out a sheet of paper that has my email address on it. And I only check my email like once or twice a day. But if you send me a Facebook Messenger, I had about, so you can see, I had like 6 people from last cruise. These are all people, well, Linda, I just met, but these are all people from last cruise that sent me text messages today in Facebook, and I Immediately responded. I'm very responsive to my Facebook messages because they come in and they're very simple. Yes?
Now, when you're using Messenger,
Uh-huh.
there's no relation to Facebook where it'll show up on
Okay,
Facebook.
no. So they are two separate apps. Now, they used to be the same app. If you've used Facebook for a while, which I'm sure a lot of us haven't, the application for Facebook Messenger used to be right inside of Facebook. A lot of people had concerns about that, so they moved it outside of Facebook. What I think is very interesting, what Facebook's doing right now is they're building out Messenger for businesses, meaning that if you needed to chat with Apple support or someone like that, then you could go in and you could do that. They have little bots in Messenger, stuff like that. It is the same company, Facebook, but it is not post all my pictures and show them out of the country so someone can cover out my house Facebook. So there's two different Facebooks. But when you're setting up the account, it will give you the option to do it with your phone number. I would go ahead and avoid that because it means you can't do it on your iPad, you can't do it on your other devices as well. You can just do it on the one device that you have there. Does that make sense? So, yeah.
Two questions. One, if you're using Apple Messenger,
iMessage, yeah.
right? Is it the technology that you were talking about, the same platform? Is that going to be as fast as?
No. So Facebook Messenger is always going to be faster if you're sending pictures as well as if you're sending messages on Apple Messenger, because Apple Messenger on the phone has to talk to the phone carriers. It talks to the phone carriers. Doesn't matter who your phone carrier is, it has to talk to the phone carrier to take your number. Now, iMessage on an iPad is almost as quick when it comes to sending text-based messages, but not as quick when it comes to sending pictures because it always sends the picture in full quality. Does that answer your question there?
Second question.
Oh, the second question, then I'll get yours.
Sending money, are there limits?
So the limits on sending money is it must be sent with a debit card. There's no limits, but it's not with a credit card. It has to be sent with a debit card. So when you add it in, you have to, we all know what the difference is. A debit card has direct access to cash. A credit card, if I wanted to send Linda money, and I hit payments, what it'll say is, it'll say, payment's unavailable, because the other thing that's important when you make a payment, it needs to know where you are. So right now we're inside the ship and we have no GPS signal, so I can't send a payment. It's the same thing that happens with PayPal and Square or any of those. If it can't tell your location, it's just going to say, nope, can't do it. So I need to have a location, but it has to be a debit card, and you can send an unlimited amount of money. A friend of mine was sailing with me last cruise. I bought a lot of stuff on my card because I get a discount on my card, and I said we told him how much he needed to send me at the end, and I just sent it right there. It's sent to Facebook Messenger, and then you can transfer it out to your bank. Here's the interesting thing when you're talking about money. I think in a couple of years that Apple, Facebook, and Google are going to become banks. They have enough money to do it. They're going to become banks. And you know who's not going to be a bank anymore? Wells Fargo, Charles Schwab, Bank of America, RBC, all of those. Because that's pretty frictionless. Yeah?
Is that going to be banks? Is that?
I don't think they're going to exist.
I think they'll become different types of banks.
Here's the thing to understand, okay? I'll give you a simple answer. I trust Apple 10 times more than I trust Wells Fargo. My generation, I went to Wells Fargo. This is not good I have to say here, but I went to Wells Fargo when I was last home, and I'll get your question in a second, and I had 6 bank accounts opened under my name. I hadn't been in the country consistently for 6 years. I had 6 bank accounts open under my name, so I'm sure you know that story that happened in the States. So those banks have lost a lot of consumer trust, and I'm going to show you something a bit later in the cruise that's a stock investing app that has no fees. And what it has no fees. You don't pay any commissions or anything like that. That's really cool. That's my main stock trading app. Yeah, but off the topic for a second. Yeah.
FaceTime, would you use that
Good
instead
question.
of FaceTime?
Good question. Yes, I would use Facebook Messenger instead of FaceTime because it will work on any device I call the person on. So I will tell you, I have a Windows computer in my cabin. And if I'm on my Windows computer and someone calls me with FaceTime, can I pick it up? No, I have to go across the cabin, I have to pick up my iPhone, or I need to go pick up my iPad or something like that. Here's the other thing. FaceTime to work requires a nearly perfect internet connection. Nearly perfect for FaceTime to work. Also, if you wanted to call Linda, you couldn't call her on FaceTime, could you? Because she has an Android phone. So the thing is, Facebook is designed to be universal. And Facebook is also designed to work well on the cellular network. FaceTime won't work great if you access it on 3G or 4G. But Facebook Messenger will work good if it accesses on 3G or 4G. So personally, I don't use FaceTime. The only time I use FaceTime is to test if FaceTime's working. The main video interface I use is Facebook Messenger. Yeah.
Is Facebook Messenger more private than Facebook, where everybody knows what's going on?
Yes, that's what we were just talking about. Facebook is where everybody knows what's going on. They can know to rob your house and stuff like that when you're not home.
That's the major one.
Facebook Messenger, I want you to kind of think of it like WhatsApp. Think of it, it's just a messaging platform. It has the potential to do a lot more. But here's the thing to understand. You saw how instant everything was. That doesn't happen with many email providers. Yes, if you're emailing Gmail to Gmail, it'll be almost that instant, but once you start adding attachments and pictures and all that stuff like that, it takes forever. Yeah?
But you're saying you need a Facebook account in order for it to work properly?
Correct, but you don't need to make a Facebook profile. There's two different animals. So a Facebook account means that you can use your Facebook Messenger across multiple devices. If you don't set up a Facebook account, you can tie it to your phone number, but you can only use it on your phone. Does that make sense? Oh, my phone is talking to me. So you want to make sure, so the Facebook account is just used for Facebook Messenger. It's not used for...
So you don't put a profile in there?
You don't put a profile. What I would recommend is putting a picture. It will ask you to put a picture, and the reason you want to put a picture is so that I know which one she is. I was able to see which person she was right there. Got someone's weird picture there. But I can go in and I can do that. Any other Facebook questions? Okay. Yeah.
So you're saying Messenger you can't access from, what? I'm just trying to explain, from my home computer?
Yes, you can. Of course you can.
For Messenger?
Uh-huh. Yeah, when you log into Facebook on your computer,
Yeah.
there's there's a little thing up there that looks like the Facebook Messenger icon,
Yeah.
and then you can have Facebook Messenger. Now, if you were to do it with just your phone, then it would just be locked to your phone. Does that make sense there to us all? So, the next course we're going to do in here is going to be on Amazon. It's going to be on the first port day, which I think is Barbados. We're going to talk about Amazon. I'm going to give you an idea. In Amazon, we're going to talk about the Amazon app. Have you ever used the Amazon app before? But have you ever searched with the Amazon app by taking a picture?
No.
So I'm going to show you how to search with the Amazon app by taking a picture. That's the first thing I'm going to show you. Second thing I'm going to show you is actually very cool, how to tell the price of something on Amazon over time. This is not made by Amazon. It's made by a third-party company, so you can know whether you're paying too much. We did a tube of toothpaste 2 cruises ago, and we saw that the tube of toothpaste was normally $2, but since there wasn't the good suppliers there, the same toothpaste was $7.
You know what that is?
So I'm going to show you that. That's going to give you an idea. And then we're going to talk about the Amazon Echo, which is the little thing that people scream at and ask it to do different things. Alexa, do this. Alexa, do that. Alexa, do this. So that's going to be the Amazon one. We're also going to be talking about YouTube and Netflix, as well as smartwatches, as well as Google stuff. But between there, we've got some other classes that are coming up. We've got the apps class on the next C-Day at 3 o'clock in Celebrity Central. Not 3 o'clock, at 1 o'clock. C-Day 3 at 1 in Celebrity Central as well. Are any of you Mac users? Apple computers? 10:30 in the morning in here on the next C-Day, so that's the day after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow. So once we leave Aruba, Sunday, we don't know dates, you'll learn that in that class. We're going to be on the iMacs. I'm going to show you some cool things about the iMac, right, in the class called Mac to the Future. Cool. That's it. I'll see you guys all around then. Bye.